Hey there, Stampers. Happy Friday. I'm just logging into my iPad here. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator from Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. And every Friday, I come to you live with a crafting video. So be sure to follow me. If you're watching the replay, be sure to follow me on my Stamped Treasures Facebook page or on YouTube where you can watch the replay. Today we are going to create a card using these products. So we are using the So Sentimental Bundle from the mini catalog, the January to June mini catalog. I love, well, you guys know, you've heard me talk about these dies before. I love them because they've got stitching on them, but a variety of any kind of framelit like this that has kind of open shapes, you can use them for so many different things. So we're going to use that today, and we're going to use the coordinating stamp set. And then as far as celebration products go, we're going to use my current favorite, which is the Thoughtful Blooms stamp set, which you can earn for free with a $60 purchase, and the Bitty Blossoms, Mini Blossoms, I can't remember the name of this punch, but this you can also earn for free. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now I chose to do kind of soft and subtle colors again today. I'm not sure my reasoning behind that, but I've gone ahead and I've pre-cut this shape. So it's the largest label shape that's in this framelit set or die set. And actually I had a few sitting on my desk, so that's why, one of the reasons why we're using it. And I'm going to use Early Espresso ink and this greeting that says, "Your friendship is a blessing." So you could use several other greetings would fit in here. You could use the Sending Healing Hugs. This calls for confetti. I can't thank you enough would also fit in there. Yumalicious. So several of these. Actually, I think the only one that wouldn't necessarily fit would be the Wishing You Much Happiness Today and Always. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up with Early Espresso ink. And hopefully this is straight. It's hard when you can't get right over top. There we go. Okay, and I think that's the only thing I need my brown for. And then we're gonna pull in a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 5, and we're gonna do a fair bit of stamping on here. So I'm going to use soft sea foam. So again, I'm going for a nice soft color palette today, and I'm gonna use this leaf background. It's probably hard for you guys to see. I'll pull in the stamp set. We're gonna use this image right here, and I'm gonna stamp it a couple times. Once there, and again, kind of up here. Okay, and then I've got a little scrap of white. So while we have the green out, I'm going to take this little solid leaf image and I'm going to stamp it twice like that. Okay, and then I think that's it for the green. So now we're gonna pull in the tiniest little flower. Actually, it's not the smallest little flower, it's the second smallest. And we're gonna use some So Saffron ink. And I apologize if my head's in the way. I'm getting some glare here, it's hard to see. Wherever there's an end with no flower, I'm going to stamp this little yellow flower. Okay, I think that's good. And I think that's all we need for the yellow. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull back my scrap and I'm gonna pull in 2 ink colors. I'm gonna use Petal Pink and Calypso Coral. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I want one of these in Petal Pink. No, I want two of them, sorry. So I'm just gonna stamp those like that. And then I'm going to stamp them in, I'm gonna stamp a few of them in Calypso Coral. And I'm stamping them so that the petals are like that at the bottom, so that it lines up with the punch. And I actually need 3 of them, so I need some more white. I'm gonna grab another scrap. Okay. All right, so we've got those flowers. Oh, I need that color. We can put this color away. And now I'm going to use the larger flower in Petal Pink, and I'm going to line it up right over top and stamp it down. So then you get that two-toned flower. I'm gonna do that for all 3 of these. So I did try it the other way, where I stamped the Petal Pink first and then the Calypso Coral over top, but I found that a little bit more of a challenge just because the Petal Pink is so light. It was really hard to see through my block, so I found that this way worked a little bit better. All right, so let's set all those aside. Now I'm gonna pull in the coordinating punch, and we're gonna punch these out. Just like this. There we go. All right, and then I've gone ahead and I fussy cut those other little flowers. Okay, so let's put all those in there so that they don't go missing. And then we're gonna pull in our card base. So I've got a piece of Petal Pink that measures 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And then this piece is going to, get actually added to a piece of Calypso Coral. And I have, here's my adhesive. And this Calypso Coral measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So just a tiny little border all the way around. I love using Tombow because it just gives me the flexibility to adjust it if I need to adjust it to get it perfectly centered. And then that's gonna get stuck down the center of our card front. Okay, and then this is gonna go in the center, but before we do that, I'm going to take some of this Petal Pink organdy striped ribbon. It's so pretty. And we're gonna add some of that to our card front. So I'm just gonna trim a couple pieces. And I'm gonna grab my fast fuse. So for this, Tombow isn't, or multi-purpose glue isn't necessarily the best adhesive for this. So you can use mini glue dots, you can use fast fuse, you can use Tombow, like snail. And I'm kind of putting it at an angle, just like this. And then I'll add a little bit more adhesive at the top and the bottom, and this one's gonna go at an angle this way. All right. And then we're gonna put some dimensionals on the back of this guy. I'm gonna use some of the ones around the edges here. And that's gonna go right in the center here, like that. And then we're gonna take these little flowers that we punched out and cut out, and I'm just gonna use my bone folder and kind of curl the leaves that I cut out up. And I don't necessarily need my bone folder for that. What I'm gonna do, what I like to do with these flowers is I like to just kind of push them in to give them a bit of dimension. And then we're gonna take some of the champagne rhinestones. And we're gonna put a little rhinestone in the center. And then we'll use a little bit of glue. This guy's gonna go right in the center here. Oh, that's a lot of glue. That's not a little bit of glue. My rhinestone's not quite in the center, but I'll adjust that in a minute. Okay, and then these guys, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna kind of pinch the petals up a little bit to give them some dimension. And we might as well do this other little one as well. And then put a rhinestone in the center of each one of these flowers. Okay, and then this guy's gonna go right here. So you can see where there's a little gap in the leaves. That is where this flower is meant to go. Oh. And then this guy, let's figure this out here. Well, let's put this up here. Good morning, Susan. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Okay, so this guy's gonna go about there, and then, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Okay, so, let's see. Do I wanna use a dimensional for this guy? Yeah, we'll use a dimensional for this little flower. No, let's move it over. Just like that. And then we'll put this one right here. Good morning, Betty. Okay, so there's our card front. Isn't that pretty? I love how soft and subtle it is. Okay, now let's do the inside. So I've got a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper White. I need to change the blade in my paper trimmer. And we're gonna stamp the inside of our card. So again, I'm just gonna mimic some of those petals or some of the stamping that I did on the outside. So I'm going to use some soft sea foam and stamp this. Yeah, let's go this way. Like that. And then we'll add, let's do our envelope at the same time. We'll do the envelope to coordinate with the inside of our card. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull in that little yellow flower and stamp some of these guys. Okay, that looks good. We'll do this one. just like that. Okay, and then for the inside of the card, we are gonna pull in, again, that scrap piece of Whisper White. For the inside, it's okay to punch it out. For the outside, I don't know that that's the best idea. So let's do the outside first. So I'm going to stamp this guy, the smaller of the two flowers. I'm going to stamp it right on the envelope like that. While we've got it, I will stamp it on here. And then we'll take the petal pink and we're gonna stamp it right over top. Look how pretty that looks. Oh my gosh, I love it. I am having so much fun with this stamp set. Okay, so that's gonna go right over top, and then we'll use the punch to punch that out. So you just line it in. You can see through the back, so it makes it really easy to punch out. And then again, I'll just use my fingers to kind of pinch that up. We might as well put a little champagne rhinestone in there as well. Bring in that little bit of bling from the outside. There we go. And then we'll pull in the card base and we'll put this on the inside. Just like that. And our card is done. So now we've got a beautifully stamped inside, a nice matching envelope, and then we've got a pretty card on the outside. All right, so has anybody else played with this stamp set yet? I love it, this Thoughtful Bloom stamp set. I actually wanted to share a page. I kind of shared a couple peeks on my Facebook page yesterday, but I was scrapbooking for my Layout a Day challenge yesterday, and I created this layout. So I did this a similar type background to what we did here. And so I did it kind of all along. I did add in the little branches with the, I want to say berries. I don't know if that's what they are. And then over here, because there is a stem, you can do a pretty little bouquet. So I did a little bouquet of flowers, and then I added pearls in the center. And this uses, I pulled the colors from that Pleased as Punch DSP that coordinates. So if you didn't necessarily have this stamp set, if you had this DSP and the coordinating punch, you could punch all these little flowers out of the DSP as well. So there we go. And I used a retired piece of DSP for my background because I just felt like it was too much white. I needed some pool party back there, and I didn't have anything that was current, so I grabbed a piece of retired patterned paper. So I love how it turned out, and it's so simple. I love scrapbook pages with lots of white space. But anyways, that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's project. Have a fabulous weekend. If there is anything that you would like to order, remember that we have the coordinating celebration or coordinating products that are available now to order. So if you've already received the Ladybug stamp set, host set, be sure to pick that up while those dies are available. And then there's the Pleased as Punch DSP. Then there's a couple of framelit sets that coordinate with various stamp sets. All right. And if you shop from me online and use this host code, any order over $50 will get a free little gift in the mail from me. All right. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a fabulous weekend, and we will chat with you next week. Take care.